and there was a three-side clock,
Yes.
and you could watch the clock. And I said, how do I get out of here?
To yourself?
To myself, no, naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I said to Goebbels, so help me God. But in essence, I said, I'm tickled pink. And I was looking at the hands of the clock, and they moved and moved, and my only idea was, how do I get out of here? Get to the bank, get some money out of the bank, and leave Germany.
Personal account of his 1933 meeting with Reich Minister of Propaganda Joseph Goebbels, in which the meeting was to discuss his future role in the now Nazi-controlled German film industry, he was fixated on the clock in the room, and this translates into his 1944 film, Ministry of Fear, which opens in a similar fashion, fixating on a clock. From the shadows is revealed to be Stephen Neill, played by Ray Milland, a character who, like Lang in 1933, would have his life changed utterly by circumstances outside of his control. Lang would be forced to flee Germany after rejecting Joseph Goebbels' offer of taking a leading role in the then Nazi-controlled German film industry. After Stephen Neill is released from the mental hospital he was staying at, the reasons for his incarceration there being revealed later on in the film, he is told to stay out of trouble, but that doesn't last long.
One parting thought, Neil. Don't get involved with the police again in any way. A second charge wouldn't be easy.
Quiet life from here on.
Well, goodbye, and good luck.
Thank you.
Like most of Lang's heroes and heroines, Stephen Neill's life is changed and altered by forces outside of his control, by destiny, if you will. In fact, one can trace this recurring theme of Lang's work all the way back to 1921's Der Mordtod, or as it was known outside of Germany, Destiny, whereby a personification of death recounts three tragic tales of people who can't outrun their destiny. But Neill's destiny in Ministry of Fear, linked closely as it may be to Lang's own life, was actually based upon the Graham Greene novel released in 1943, just 1 year prior to the film's release. British author Graham Greene had already penned what would become his most influential novel in 1938, Brighton Rock, and would later go on to pen the film script for the classic British film The Third Man. But in Ministry of Fear, Greene's story is translated to the screen by Lang as a sharp, witty, and well-paced adventure. Having been told to stay out of trouble, Stephen Neill goes to a local church fair on his way to London, and correctly guesses the weight of a cake. As is noted at least twice in the film, the cake was made with real eggs, somewhat of a treat given the Blitz-era Britain had rationing for all food.
Would you like some cake?
Cake?
Yes, I won it back there at the fete. You might as well share it with me. It's a long way to a London restaurant.
Well, if you're going to have some...
You are?
See how light it is. Made with eggs.
You'd think it was made with gold the way they wanted to hang on to it.
The cake acts as a catalyst for Neil to uncover a Nazi plot to smuggle wartime secrets out of the country to Germany. Much like Lang's other propaganda films, including Manhunt, Hangmen Also Die, and Cloak and Dagger, it is a story designed to make audiences hate the enemy. But as with those other propaganda films, Ministry of Fear showcases the good Germans, or in this case Austrians, who want to stand up against the Nazis. The character of Carla in the film, played by Marjorie Reynolds, was a refugee from Austria. This again reflects Lang's own life, as he was born an Austrian, served during World War I, and only moved to Germany after that war. Lang showcases that refugees like himself and Carla were doing as much as anyone else to help stop the Nazis. Lang's contemporary biographer Lottie Eisner, though speaking well of the film, did note it as one of Lang's minor works. Further, Gavin Lambert in the autumn 1955 Sight and Sound magazine reckoned that the film was overladen with suggestions of vague terror and menace in everything. A tree or a clock even seems macabre. Opinions on Ministry of Fear have improved, the film having commercial releases by the Criterion Collection in the US and Indicator in the UK. But even the detailed Tom Gunning's book, Allegories of Vision and Modernity, does not give much mention to Ministry of Fear or to Lang's wartime propaganda films in general. But the film should not be consigned to its status as a forgotten Lang film. It's a surprisingly personal film to Lang, and also one filled with his trademark imagery and motifs. And it's certainly, to my mind at least, the best film ever made that revolves around Nazi secrets being hidden in a cake.
I've always dreamed of having a church wedding. We'll have music and flowers and a big cake.
Cake?